At a time when people in England were only allowed to meet one other person outdoors, as many as 100 were invited to a bring your own booze party in Downing Street. The email, revealed by ITV News, was sent out by the Prime Minister's Principal Private Secretary, Martin Reynolds. But we can talk now to Dr. Hannah White, Deputy Director for the Institute for Government. That's a non-partisan think tank. She previously ran the Committee on Standards in Public Life in the Cabinet Office. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's begin with the fact that the email was sent out by the Prime Minister's Principal Private Secretary. What do you make of that?
Well, I think it's pretty surprising that this happened at all, and that he decided to put it on record by sending an email seems even more surprising. He's the Principal Private Secretary, as you say, one of the key officials working for the Prime Minister, and I think it's true to say that it's extremely unlikely he could have invited 100 people to a party in the Downing Street garden without the assent of the Prime Minister.
So the Prime Minister, you think, would have had to have agreed to this?
I think he would. I think he would have to have done. And also, I mean, there were witnesses saying that he was there. So it's becoming increasingly difficult for him to claim that he didn't know about this particular breach of the lockdown rules.
And the Prime Minister hasn't issued a denial of that yet?
No, he's said that, and he's entirely correct to say there's an inquiry underway. Sue Gray, who's a senior official in Michael Gove's department, is conducting an inquiry and is looking into a number of different allegations of parties. We don't know yet whether she was looking into this one, but presumably she will need to now.
And Sue Gray is herself somebody with quite a fearsome reputation, doesn't she, in Whitehall?
Yeah, she used to run something called the Propriety and Ethics Team in the Cabinet Office, which is responsible for all these sorts of matters, always dealing with breaches of codes, allegations of breaches, and doing investigations to work out what the facts are.
Is there any evidence that Boris Johnson misled Parliament? The reason I ask is that Labour's issued those allegations this morning. They're saying it has happened 11 times. One of the quotes they make was from early December from Boris Johnson. What I can tell the Right Honourable Learned Gentleman is that all guidance was followed completely in number 10.
Well, I've looked into this. As far as I can see, there were only 2 occasions at Prime Minister's questions before Christmas when the party allegations came up. And both times, the questions that were raised by Keir Starmer were very specifically about Christmas parties. And he was quite specific about the dates he was asking about, because I think he wanted to establish on record that they happened at a time when there were lockdown measures in place. And the Prime Minister did issue denials. He said he had been repeatedly assured that no rules were broken. But I don't think that presumably if he went to a party in May, he was aware that it had happened. But either way, he technically speaking wasn't talking about parties in May when he spoke before Christmas on those 2 occasions. Whether you would expect that he would take into account his awareness of other parties when talking about his outrage about the parties that had happened before Christmas is a question of judgment for other people.
Hannah White from the Institute for Government, thank you.